Good afternoon, everyone. You should all have permission to record. If you don't, please let me know and I'll get that to you and we will get underway shortly.
There you go. What? Down?
All right. Hi, Coach Footer. How you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm doing terrific. Thank you.
Yes. We'll have you go ahead and start with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
All right. Well, obviously, we're extremely thrilled to be here, and to have the opportunity to continue to play basketball in March is always so much fun. I feel like we have been here for a while, which is been kind of enjoyable, actually. We get away from everything. You're just with your team, and we've had a couple of really good practices. And so I know our team is ready to kick it off tomorrow, and I'm really glad that we have the first game and can kick this tournament off. I'm excited to play.
Thanks, Coach. If you have a question for Coach Footer, please raise your hand in the participant window and I will call on you. Your first question is from Jeff Linder.
Hey, Coach. Why are you so glad to have that first game?
Just because I feel like everybody's been sitting around a lot, right? Like we got down here so early. We arrived Wednesday, late afternoonish, and usually you play on Thursday then, right? So you're used to playing right away when you get someplace. And for those that came down here on Tuesday and don't play till Monday, that's a long stay in a hotel. So I'm glad just to, everybody wants to get out and get ready to play. So I'm glad we get to do it right away.
Ben?
Yeah, so after such a congested end of the season with like games and stuff, how nice has it been to be able to kind of slow things down for a little bit and maybe focus on improving like yourselves?
We haven't really had that much time to do that because really we took a couple of days off after the championship game. And they needed that. They needed it to rest. And then we had the selection show. So your sights go right away to Central Michigan and start preparing for that. So we've not went really long. We've tried to conserve their legs a little bit just because we want to be down here for a long time. And that means a lot of days in a row. So, at this point, you can't really work on yourselves that much. I mean, we've been working ourselves since June. So really, we have to have that down by now. That's not going to get better in a couple of practices. What we have to really focus on is our next opponent.
John?
You've been in a lot of NCAA tournaments, and how different has this been? And has your approach changed this week with preparing?
It's all different. In a normal situation, the top 4 seeds get home court advantage. I think it's tremendous that these are being played on neutral courts this year. I think that's a real step forward for our game. We should be playing on neutral courts. Nobody should get to host when you're playing in a national tournament. So, yeah, it's great when you're a top 4 seed, and we've been the benefit of that. Probably would have been a benefit of it last year had we had an NCAA tournament, but this year we wouldn't have been. We would have been traveling to play at Kentucky for these games. So I'm glad it's on a neutral court. Things are different because of, the pandemic. It's an entirely different situation than what it usually is. As you prepare, usually you're going to do things with your team in the community, maybe. When I think of, we've been to UCLA and take them out to Santa Monica Boulevard, or the pier. I mean, on and on. We've done things as a team that are enjoyable together, and now we just kind of have to like each other because that's what we got.
Josh?
Coach, this might be a difficult question to answer, but do you feel that it was beneficial that you guys were probably one of the few teams across the country that were able to get all your games in, that maybe it better prepares you? I mean, you mentioned you wanted to give the girls some rest just because of all the playing, but do you feel that was beneficial that you guys did get all your games in a way?
Josh, without doubt, I think it was better. We only had one game that we didn't get to play, and that was at Rutgers. We played all of our games. I think we played more Big Ten games than anybody the last time I looked. That may be wrong, but I feel like we played so many good games against good competition. And with a young team, you want to play games. If you had a veteran team, a hiatus might not be so bad for you. But when you have a young team, you want to get those repetitions because that's how you're going to get better. And we were able to do that this year.
Did you have a follow-up, Josh?
Oh, I guess
Okay.
not. I didn't know
okay.
my hand was still raised.
You're okay. Steve?
Lisa, obviously a couple of good guards in Central Michigan. What else do you see in the Chippewas?
Yeah, I really like those 2 guards that can really score at will. But this is a team, and they're long-range shooters. Everybody gets excited about Caitlin's long-range threes, and I do too. But they have just that type of range on these players, and so we have to be ready for that. Our three-point defense has got to be good. 45% of their shots come from three-point range. That is a bunch. I think we shoot a lot of threes, and I think our number is like 35% of our total shots are threes. So this is a team that really lives and dies by the three, and we need to have good three-point defense against them. And, let's get them all inside. We have the height advantage, right? We need to take advantage of that.
How would you assess Monica's play here lately?
Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. You know, first team all Big Ten at the all tournament team, leads the country in field goal percentage shooting. She's a walking bucket, and we need to remember to go to her because she gives us that automatic too. But she's absolutely been tremendous.
Thanks.
Jeff?
A lot's been made, and it's really become a national story about the difference between the weight room for the men's tournament and the women's tournament. Just what have you been doing for workouts, and just kind of your take on what's going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think there's been some really good things. I mean, we got 64 teams to San Antonio. We have great courts that we are practicing on. They're tremendous. Great baskets, clock system, PA systems. I mean, it's been wonderful. And yeah, there's been some areas where they could have done better. But overall, I think it's been, you know, I mean, I can't imagine what they had to navigate to make this happen. But some teams are getting treated better than others, and those teams are not sticking up for everybody else. I think we have to look out for all the teams, all the women's teams, not just like, oh, my team's being treated okay, so I'm not going to worry about everybody else. As women leaders, we have to make sure that all teams are treated the same and treated well in these situations. But, you know, a lot of people are using their voices, and as female leaders, that's what we're encouraging, right? We want our women to use their voices. We want our women to use their platforms. We want them to speak out when things are not right, because for too long, too many people didn't speak out when it was wrong. And, you know, I just, the focus is definitely on the games moving forward. But to me, we've made it as good of an experience as we can, and I'm happy with that. But yeah, some of those things that you see between the men's and the women's tournaments, it's like, here we go again. It gets frustrating. It gets very frustrating, and I'm really proud of the women that are using their voices to bring attention to this. And I'm proud of the men that are standing behind us too.
Becky?
Just a quick follow-up to that. Do you think maybe there will be a positive impact from the attention on some of those disparities that might exist?
I hope so. I guess I've been around the game long enough to know it takes more than a little bit of media attention for 24, 48 hours to make change. So, I mean, I hope it makes a difference. But it needs to. And I think that we have prepared women. It's a generation of women right now that are determined to make a change and are willing to put their necks on the line to make a change. And so I think that's, we're moving in the right direction.
Any further questions for Coach? Great. Thanks, Coach Fluter. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Go Hawks.
We will have McKenna Warnock up next, followed by Monica Sanano, and then Caitlin Clark. I'm McKenna. If you have a question for McKenna, please raise your hand in the participant window and I will call on you. Your first question is from John Bolenkamp.
McKenna, what has this week been like for everybody being in the bubble, and as a player, what's it been like for you personally?
Yeah, it's definitely been different. Like Coach Bluter said, we got here on Wednesday and we're not playing till Sunday, but so that time frame is just a little bit different. But I think we've all done a really good job as a team. We've come together, had some really great practices, and we've had some nice walks as a team and everything else. So we're making the most of it.
Jeff?
Yeah, Coach says she's really glad that you guys are playing the early game. Do you consider yourself a morning person?
Normally, no, but as a basketball player, yes. We've definitely gotten used to those early morning schedules, and I'm kind of excited to have that early morning game, being able to kick off. on ESPN for the biggest tournament in national for women's is just amazing. So I'm excited for that.
Any further questions for McKenna? Great. Oh, one more. Jeff?
Yeah, coach says, with Monica and to an extent with you too, stuff the ball inside as much as you can. You guys have the height advantage. How key will that be?
I think it'll be a huge key in this game. I know that their tallest girl is around 6'1", and Monica has obviously done amazing this season. Did a really good job in the Big Ten tournament, had some amazing records as well. So I think getting the ball inside will be amazing. Caitlin obviously can do it. She has the record for assists also for the tournament. So that's really nice to see. But I think getting the ball inside, taking drives, they're a good three-point shooting team. So just getting out and guarding those three-pointers.
Great. Thanks, McKenna. Good luck tomorrow. We'll have Monica Sonano slide in. If you have a question for Monica, can you raise your hand in the participant window and I will call on you. All right. Questions for Monica? John?
Monica, you've been playing well as of late. What has been the key for you, and what's it like when you get on a roll like this?
It's a lot of fun. I think the key, there isn't really a key. It's just kind of like going into the postseason. We talked about it as a team. You kind of get to start fresh and start anew, and I think that's just really, really exciting. Considering how long a collegiate season is, it's so much fun, but it is a long time. So getting to kind of enter that postseason stretch with the Big Ten tournament and NCAA tournament is kind of a good chance for the team as a whole to kind of be like, we had a great regular season, but let's start anew and let's kind of make a new name for ourselves and show our improvement. So I think that's been something that's been really critical for us. Obviously, we had a really good run at the Big Ten tournament and are hoping to have a really good run here.
Jeff?
Yeah, where are you at right now, confidence-wise? I mean, you had a really, really good Big Ten tournament. It sounds like you've got potentially a big size advantage tomorrow. Are you just kind of, chomping at the bit a little bit for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm just really, really excited to play. I feel like it's been so long since our last game. Yeah, but overall, obviously, our 4 and our 5, we do have a size advantage, but they're going to know that, and they're also going to be targeting that as their weakness, so they're going to be compensating for it. So I think just for us, it's really important to never stray from Iowa basketball and just really make sure that we're kind of doing what we've always been doing and what we show improvement at the Big Ten tournament. And our game plan has been working, and we just kind of got to keep that up and keeping that in tune, and constantly trying to improve that is crucial.
Josh?
Monica, kind of staying on how you've been playing. How are you constantly finding ways to get open and, maybe even extend out just a little bit from under the basket? I mean, is it just, are you finding spots, or, I mean, is it just plowing through, or what is it as far as constantly really almost not missing every single time?
Our coaching staff does a great job of kind of mixing up where I'm going to be on the floor, where they identify I'm going to be the most successful at. So that's been kind of crucial. But again, I think it's just my teammates do a really good job of hitting me with the ball in like really good situations. But yeah, definitely. I mean, Coach Jay's instilled in me a lot of confidence, and I know the coaching staff is going to put me in places on the floor and call plays that they think that I'm going to be the most successful in, and that's something that's been really helpful, not just in the tournament, but throughout the entire season.
Jeff?
It's kind of become a national story, just the inequity between the men's and the women's games in terms of training facilities this week. Just how much have you been paying attention to that, and how big a deal is that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously being here, I've been paying attention a lot, and I'm just really, really proud of all the women athletes I've seen, and coaching staff, and just women in general who have been stepping forward to talk about it. And again, like Coach Brewer said, the men that are standing behind us, I think that speaks volumes actually, being there for us. But I really do think that, like Coach Brewer said, it's kind of one of those here we go again kind of situations. But I'm just hoping that the more and more recognition gets brought to it, the more that the entire nation will see that stuff like that really isn't okay. But we've been doing the best job we can. Obviously, we have a great strength and conditioning coach who's been getting us right, and practices have been going really well. I think we've kind of done the best with what we've been given, and we've been having fun. We're in Texas. We made the NCAA tournament. Like we're really blessed to be where we are. But yeah, seeing that definitely is discouraging, but I'm so proud of everybody I've seen step forward and shed some light.
Any further questions for Monica? Great. Good luck tomorrow, Mon. All right, we'll jump right into questions for Caitlin Clark. If you have a question, please raise your hand in the participant window. Caitlin, your first question is from Steve Batterson.
Caitlin, how would you describe the guards that you're going to be going against tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good scorers. So I think, as you've probably already heard, 3-point defense is kind of a key to the game. And I think just getting your hands up will be huge for us. Obviously, we have a size advantage, but they can shoot the ball super well. They shoot, I think, 45% of their shots are coming from three. So if we don't defend the three, we'll be in trouble. But I think that's just been such a focal point in practice over this past week once we've known who we're going to play. So I think we'll be ready there. And they're obviously very talented scorers. I think they're 9th in the nation at scoring, and we're 2nd in the nation at scoring. So they can definitely score the ball. So defense is going to be a huge key to the game for us.
Do they remind you as a tandem of anybody that you've seen so far this season?
Yeah, I don't know quite a tandem. I think obviously we've played some really good guards in the Big Ten. Northwestern has Veronica Burton, Lindsey Polium, so they're a pretty good tandem, I would say. Maryland has quite a few good guards. I think would be more than a tandem there. But obviously we've played a lot of good guards, people that can shoot the ball. So it's nothing we haven't seen before. So just get out, get our hands up, and we'll be just fine.
Thanks.
Jeff?
What goes into making good 3-point defense? Is it just getting your hands up, or is there more to it than that? Is it communication? Is it getting through screens? How do you do that? Or is it just as simple as getting out and getting a hand up?
Yeah, I think it's all of that. They're going to set screens, so there's going to be switches and whatnot, and just knowing who you're guarding, knowing the scouting report, just getting out there, hands up. Obviously, you still have to be in a stance. It's not like they're not going to drive the ball still. So definitely expecting that as well. But I think a lot goes into it. I think no matter what defense you're playing, communication is key. And I think that's something we've been trying to work on more and more. So all those 3 things added together is what's going to make us successful tomorrow.
John?
Your first tournament. What are your feelings now going in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited and happy to be here. I think we put ourselves in a really good position. Got a pretty good draw, but I think any team you play in the NCAA tournament, everybody knows you lose and you go home now at this point. So everybody's going to give everything they have left, and I think you're going to be up for a challenge no matter who you're playing. So Central Michigan's going to come out firing for us for sure, but we're just as excited to be playing here. So we're just excited to step on that court, and we're happy that we're going to be the first game of the tournament for sure.
Any further questions? Oh, Jeff?
Yeah, just your thought about playing at 11. Do you consider yourself a morning person?
I mean, when I get up, I'll be perfectly fine. I'm just excited to play. Honestly, I probably won't sleep much because I'm going to be so excited to go play. But, I mean, we're the first game on ESPN. How can you not be excited for that? But, I mean, you play, you get your win, and then you get to sit and watch the rest of the basketball games all day. You don't have to be nervous for your game. So, honestly, I like the 11 o'clock game. Then you have time to recover and start prepping for your next game. So I have nothing to complain about, and I'm just excited to go play for sure.
Any further questions for Caitlin? Great. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you all for your coverage. As always, we will send out a Zoom link for post game tomorrow. Should be the same as always. Let me know if you have any questions.